What is up everybody, how is it going? Welcome back. It is beautiful Sunday outside, so I should be outside, but no, I am here to bring you yet another preview about upcoming Tier 10 Soviet-Russian vehicle. This time I am going to take a little bit deeper look into Object 430U. New alpha into down, as Wargaming said. And guys, you know what? They are not lying. This vehicle is the beast. Tier 10 Soviet-Russian medium tank with 440 alpha damage. Yes, you heard me right. Soviet medium tank with 440 alpha damage. So far, high alpha damage medium tanks have been a specialty for Chinese vehicles, Chinese medium tanks like WZ-120 and 121 as well. And at the same time, Soviet medium tanks are known for kind of lowish alpha damage, 320 alpha damage on 140 for example, on D62A, on 430 on live server at the moment, with really good DPM. But now, out from nowhere, 440 alpha damage. But guys, let's see what else this vehicle has to offer besides that 440 alpha damage. And as always, while you are enjoying this gameplay action on the background, and by the way, this battle on the background was my first battle ever in this vehicle, and I was still able to do a lot of work in full Tier 10 matchmaking. Just sit back and enjoy. While I am talking about the statistics of this vehicle, and after that let's compare it to some other tanks as well, for example versus 113, 121 and one other Russian medium tank. But it feels kinda weird to compare this vehicle to Tier 10 Chinese heavy tank. But it is kind of a hybrid, kind of a medium and heavy tank hybrid. Let's call it heavy medium or I don't know, Hemedium. Yeah, Hemedium is actually quite nice. My loadout is as followed. I am using Brothers in Arms, I am using vertical stabs, a medium caliber tank on rammer and ventilation, just to boost my DPM a little bit more. DPM is not the best on this vehicle. And I am using food for the same reason, to boost my DPM, to boost my gun handling a little bit more. Fire is not the biggest threat in this vehicle, because the chance of fire on impact for this engine is only 10%, so not bad. Anyway, this is how this new Tech 3 looks like. Object 430 is not going to be removed from the game, is simply going to be moved down by one tier with new gun. 430 now has 390 alpha damage with 238mm of penetration, and you are able to get into 430U, into this new Tier 10 medium tank via T44. Luckily, they are not going to remove Object 416. I remember I made one news episode around 2 months ago where this vehicle was removed from the Tech 3 just to make room for Object 430U. But now this is how the second Tech 3 looks like. From A44 into A44 you can either get from A43 or from KV13 as well actually. You have to move into 416, into 430 version 2, and upcoming new vehicle is going to be over here. So this is how they kinda saved 416, which makes me a happy panda as well, because it is kinda iconic vehicle once again, different pan, yeah. Talking about the stats, super uncharacteristically high alpha damage gun for a Tier 10 Soviet medium tank, 440 alpha damage. 252mm of penetration with a regular AP round, and I like that it has a regular AP round. I can work a little bit better with AP rounds in this vehicle. But if you are not able to penetrate something, just press that 2 button and you have 340mm of penetration with premium heat rounds. HE gives you 68mm of penetration with 530 alpha damage. Now shell caliber is 122mm, which is really nice because you are able to overmatch all those Swedish DDs, you are able to overmatch weak roof armors, 40mm of roof armor, top of the hull armor as well, so this gun can overmatch stuff in this game. But because it has a little bit bigger caliber, reload time is not as fast, 8.07 seconds with my loadout. Turret traverse speed 43.23 degrees per second, Gun depression, nothing special as expected, -5 degrees, gun elevation 18 degrees. Aiming time is not half bad for this kind of gun, 2.02 seconds, but accuracy at the same time is pretty bad, 0.35, and as I said, boosted as much as I can. And average damage per minute is actually one of the lowest, in the top 5 lowest damage per minutes compared to the other tier 10 medium tanks. 3,272 with my loadout. DPM is one of the lowest, so you have to keep that in mind when you are going in face to face, when you are getting yourself into DPM fights versus other Soviet medium tanks, for example, or even versus 121. 121 has around 200 more DPM. But overall firepower, I can say, is average. Average at the best. I love this 440 alpha damage on a tier 10 Soviet medium tank. I really do. I love to see those 500 plus rolls after every 8 seconds. This is crazy and it feels good. But you have to roll high, of course, to get 500 roll. By the way, what is the maximum roll on AP round? 550 damage. From 330 to 550 damage. Shell average penetration is dropping by distance, but not that much actually. It is quite nice. Up to 100 meters, it is still 252. Up to 200 meters, it is 249. And at 500 meters, it is 238. So it loses some penetration value, but not that much, as WZ-132-1, for example. Anyway, moving on into the survivability. This is one of the best features of this vehicle. I am going to show you tanks.gg armor profile as well. You can see that it has that same V-shape-ish hull, but it is not as extreme as on T22, as on Object 907 or on that new Object 257, but it has some V-shape going on, but it is actually quite easily penetrable from the side, so do not worry about that, and you can track and damage this vehicle with one shot. And I am also going to show you one clip, this one where I was testing out my Object 268 version 4, and this was the first time I saw Object 430 on the battlefield, and it actually made me laugh. Object 268 version 4. AP round has 293mm of penetration. And take a look how many shots was Object 430 able to bounce or absorb. Yes, I know I was on a little bit lower ground than this Object 430, but still it made me laugh how much this tier 10 Soviet Russian medium tank was able to bounce. Once again, 293mm of penetration. And this guy bounced it like a mouse with its upper plate, frontal upper plate. Hull armor values, 160 in the front, 90 on the sides and 45 in the rear of the vehicle. Turret armor is amazing. 300 in the front, 195 on the sides and 65 in the rear. And as you can see, or as you saw from the 3D model, the only weak spot frontally is a lower plate, which is, let's say, from 170 to 180mm thick and easily penetrable by every single tier 8 vehicle in this game as well. But this is the only weak spot. Turret is amazing. Those commander hatches, those are not a weak spot. Those are jailbaits. Do not shoot at the commander hatch unless you have 320mm to take from somewhere. But still, the only position that you can penetrate with every single tier 10 is the lower plate, and with tier 10 tank destroyers, you can penetrate this upper plate as well. You need 280 plus millimeters of penetration to penetrate it reliably. And you have to be on the level ground as well, not where I was with my 268 version 4. Even that tiny elevation difference was able to give it good enough angle to bounce 293 millimeters of penetration. And this vehicle is also really good side scraper. Once again, do not over angle it and you are golden. It doesn't have that pikey nose, and this makes it a good side scraper, because no pointy nose, you're not going to lose armor value. Side scraping actually gives you more armor value into your frontal armor, into your frontal upper plate. But once again, do not over angle. So overall survivability is amazing. Mobility is average at the best. Mobility is not the best. The only good thing about or under the mobility is traverse speed. 63.76 degrees per second tank traverse speed with my equipment and loadout. This is really good. But power to weight ratio is 14.13, horsepower per ton, top speed 50, reverse speed 18, engine power 600 horsepower engine. Now concealment is not half bad as well. I do not know how they were able to get it up to 20 of a stationary vehicle and up to 16 of a moving vehicle, and I am only using exterior camo. No camo skills, no camo net, simply exterior camo, and I was able to get it over 20. But after you pull the trigger, you lose all your camo value anyway. And vehicles stock view range is quite decent, 400 with my equipment and loadout. I'm using only one crew skill that gives me view range, situational awareness, and I was able to get it up to 452. And quickly, let's compare it to some other vehicles as well, for example versus 113. Yes, I am comparing this vehicle versus Tier 10 Chinese heavy tank. This 62A is also over here together with 121. Just to give you a little bit better feel what this vehicle is capable of doing. Average damage per shot, they have all 440 average damage besides the 62A, of course. But the 252 with AP is still pretty good. It is a little bit better than on 113, a little bit worse than on 121. Now, reload time is the worst on Object 430U, and by the way, all those stats over here are with 100% crew and without anything else. But reload time is the worst on 430U. 113 has better, D62A has a lot better, and 121 has better than on 113 and 430U. Gun depression is average, -5 degrees. 113 has -7 degrees, but if I remember correctly, that -7 degrees is only to the sides, when you're facing to the sides. Aiming time is interesting. Aiming time is really good, as I said before. You were able to boost it down to 2.02. But 2.21 is the best compared to the 113 and 121. But at the same time, accuracy is super bad. 0.38 on 430U, 0.35 on 113, T62A has a lot better, and 121 has a lot better as well. I think 121 was able to boost it down to 0.31 and 430U down to 0.35. But survivability, now over here maybe our opinions may differ, but in my opinion, Object 430U has a lot better overall survivability than any other tank over here, even 113. Even 113 has a little bit worse survivability, because it is a little bit bigger. Turret is not as strong, and it is not as nimble. Although under the mobility you can see that the power to weight ratio is better, more engine power and so on, but tank traverse speed is a lot worse, the range resistance numbers are a lot worse. Top speed, what is top speed? Top speed is almost the same, but reverse speed is better on 430U, for example. What else? So it is not as nimble. You are not able to move around that quickly, and in my opinion, Object 430U has a little bit smaller target as well, but it looks almost like a tiny 113 in my opinion. Exactly the same hull. Hull shape is almost copy-paste. Minor differences here and there. And the same goes to the 121. Almost exactly the same hull. Now concealment, as I said, the best. I do not know how it was able to achieve it. 17.44 without using the exterior camo. Pretty interesting. And stock view range 400 on every single vehicle. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is our new upcoming Tier 10 Soviet-Russian medium tank. Object 430U. Or heavy medium tank, or what was it? Hemedium. Yeah, Hemedium. This can easily be new medium in this game. 440 alpha damage, which is uncharacteristically high alpha damage for a Soviet medium tanks, tier 10 medium tanks especially. And new tech 3. New tech 3, interesting. We were able to keep our back turret at 416, and I'm really looking forward to this vehicle. I do not know what this can be. Most likely this is going to be back turreted medium tank as well. As they are saying over here, we are looking for a medium tank that matches the characteristics of previous vehicles to fill this position. So it has to be back turreted vehicle. And in the battle on the background, in my first battle ever in this vehicle, I was able to bounce over 2000 damage, plus my first ace tanker, plus over 6000 damage done, plus my first top gun, plus almost my first Radley Walters. God damn, that 113 at the end. Anyway, beautiful people, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I thank you so much for tuning in, for wasting your time with me over here today. In this beautiful Sunday, as I said before, after I am done editing, rendering and uploading and publishing this episode, I am going outside to enjoy some of this weather. Because otherwise it is kinda shitty over here, but today it is not so shitty. Let's put it like that. Hashtag much love. Love you all, take care, and bye. And I catch you next time. Next time with 268 version 4, most likely. I have a lot of ace tankers in it already, and I have weird problem with this vehicle. I do not know what battles I'm going to show you. I simply have at least 5 really good battles that I would like to share with you, but maybe I'm going to play live battles. We'll see. For now, take care and bye.